almost everybody who has anything to do with Peirce knows that Peirce loved triads. And anybody who knows has or even the most minimal familiarity with his theory of signs knows that he divided signs ultimately into three great categories. Those types of signs that made their objects known or interpreted their objects by resembling them, by having some kind of resemblance, however attenuated, however thin, with their objects. There are other types of signs that make their objects known and bring us into contact with their objects because they have some sort of connection with their objects. The way a scar, if you were cut by a sharp knife, the scar or a jagged knife, the jaggedness of your scar is a sign that you were cut by a jagged knife. A bruise that you would have if you've ever fallen. Let's say I once fell and landed on my backside, and I had a small wallet in my back pocket, and of course I developed a bruise that was basically the same shape and size of that wallet. From one point of view, people would say that bruise resembled the wallet, but Peirce would say, no, you learn what you learn about the wallet is not basically there based upon resemblance. It's based upon the contact. So it's an index. The bruise itself is an index of having suffered an impact, a contusion, and that the fact that blood vessels have been broken underneath the skin. And Peirce thought that pointing fingers, bruises, broken twigs, uprooted trees, a spot on your ceiling. If you have a sort of a spot that darkens on your ceiling, you may think that you could have a leak in your roof. Or there is some animal nest, perhaps, between your floors that is generating excess liquid. Let's put it this way, and that would be for Peirce an index. An index is something that leads your attention to something else because it's in proximity to it. But everybody also knows that obviously the way we come into contact with the world is not exhausted by using signs that resemble things or using signs that simply draw our attention because they're in some way connected to the things that they draw our attention to. Namely, we use language systems paradigmatically, and it's an axiom of language theory that language is not really based upon resemblance or upon continuity or contiguity. It's based upon convention. And Peirce developed a whole third type of sign, which he called the symbol, which makes its object known by being taken to apply to it. Not because there's any intrinsic connection between it and its object, and not because it resembles it at all. So Peirce developed then his doctrine of signs in reliance upon this threefold distinction between icons, indexes, and symbols.